Hello and welcome to Short Story Scene. I am your host, the storyteller, and here we have a tale called Inferno by Dante Alighieri. Canto 2. Day was departing, and the embrowned air released the animals that are on earth. From that fatigues, and I, the only one, made myself ready to sustain the war, both of the way of the likeliness of the woe, which memory and heirs not shall retrace. O Muse, O high genius, now assist me. O memory that didst write down that I saw, here thy nobility shall be manifest. And I began, poet who guidest me, regard my manhood, if it be sufficient. Ere to the arduous past thou dost confine me. Thou sayest that of Silvius the parent, while yet corruptible unto the world, immortal went and was there bodily. But if the advisory of all evil was courteous, thinking of the high effort that issue would have him in who and what, to man the intellect unmet it seems not. For he was the great Rome and of her empire, with the imperial heaven of the Father chosen, the which and what, wishing to speak the truth, were established as the holy place wherein sits the successor of the greatest Peter. Upon his journey whence thou givest him vaunt, things did he hear, which the occasion were both of his victories and the papal mantle. Thither went afterwards the chosen vessel, and bring back comfort thence unto the faith, which the salvation's way in the beginning. But I, whether thither come or who concedes it, I not Aeneas am, I am not Paul, nor I nor others think me worthy of it. Therefore, if I resign myself to come, I fear that coming may be ill advised. Thou art wise and knowest better than I speak, and as he is who unwills that he willed, and by new thoughts doth his intention change, so that his design he quite withdraws. Such I become upon the dark hillside, because in thinking I consume the emprise, which was so very prompt in the beginning. If I have well thy language understood, replied the shade of Magnesimus, thy soul attained is with cowardice, which many times a man encumbers so, it turns him back from honored enterprise, as false sight doth a beast when she is shy. That thou mayest free thy from the apprehension, I'll tell thee why I came and what I heard at the first moment when I grieved for thee. Among those was I who are in suspense, and a fair saintly lady came to me, in such wise I besought her to command me. Her eyes were shining brighter than the star, and she began to say, gentle and low, with a voice elegant in her own language, a spirit courteous of Mantua, and whom the fame still in the world endures, and shall endure long-lasting as the world, a friend of mine and not a friend of fortune, upon the desert slope is so impeded, upon his way that he has turned through terror, and may I fear already be so lost, that I too late have risen to his succor. From that which I had heard of him in heaven, bestir thee now, and with thy speech ornate, and with it what needful is his release. Assist him so that I may be consoled. Beatrice am I who did bid thee go. I come from there where I would fain return. Love moved me, which compelleth me to speak. When I shall be in presence of my Lord, full often will I praise thee upon him. Then paused she, and thereafter I began. O Lady of Virtue, thou alone through whom the human race exceedeth all contained, within the heaven that has the lesser circles, so grateful unto me is thy commandment. To obey is there already done, and we're late. No further needest thou in me thy wish, but the cause tell me thy dost not shun. The here descending down into this center, from the vast place thou burnest to return to. Since thou wouldest fain so inwardly discern, briefly will I relate. She answered me, why, I am not afraid to enter here, of whose things only should one be afraid, which have the power to do others harm. Of the rest, no, because they are not fearful. God in his mercy such created me, that misery of yours attains me not, nor any flame assails me of this burning. A gentle lady is in heaven who grieves at this impediment to which I send thee, so that the stern judgment there above is broken. In her entreaty she besought Lucia, and said, thy faithful one now stands in need of thee, and unto thee I recommend him. Lucia, foe of all that cruel is, hastened away, and came unto the place where I was sitting with the ancient Rachel. Beatrice, said she, the true praise of God, why succourest not him who loved thee so? For thee he issued from the vulgar herd. Dost thou not hear the pity of his plaint? Dost thou not see the death that combats him beside the flood where ocean has not vaunt? Never were persons in the world so swift to work their weal and to escape their woe as I, after such words as these were uttered, came hither downward from my blessed seat, confined in thy dignified discourse, which honors thee and those who've listened to it. After she thus had spoken upon me, weeping her shining eyes, she turned away, whereby she made me swifter in my coming. And unto thee I came as she desired, and I have delivered thee from the wildest beast, which bear the beautiful mountains short ascent. What is it then? Why dost thou delay? Why is such baseness bedded in thy heart? Daring the hardihood, why hast thou not? Seeing that 3 such ladies benedict are caring for thee in the court of heaven, and so much good my speech doth promise thee, even as the floridest my nocturnal chill, bowed down and closed when the sun withens them, uplift themselves all open on their stems. Such I became with my exhausted strength, and such good courage to my heart there coursed, that I began like an intrepid person. O she compassionate who succored me, and courtest thou, and thou hast obeyed so soon in the words of truth which she addressed to thee. Thou hast my heart so with desire disposed to the adventure with those words of thine, that you my first intent I have returned. Now go, for one soul will is in us both, thou leader, and thou Lord and Master thou. Thus said I to him, and when he had moved, I entered on the deep and the savage way. That ends Canto 2 by Inferno by Dante Alighieri. If you like this content and would like to support it, please head on to the Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/short story scene. Thank you for listening, and see you next episode. Bye.